Hi there, my name is Kay Moon and I am a Western astrologer and twin flame channel, and this is a video about the Leo new moon taking place on August 4th at 7:12 a.m. If you happen to be on the eastern seaboard of the United States, this will be the all signs video update. And a couple of things, the August calendar is starting to fill out really quickly. There are a few 30-minute sessions left before the of August begins. So if you'd like to grab one of those 30-minute sessions, the link to do that will be below this video. There's also space available for 1 hour sessions and a savings code to do that. I believe this might be the last lunar update in which that savings code runs. So if you were hoping to book a reading with that savings code, definitely do so now, because the energy is going to move very quick and transform into something very different now that we're on the other side of the Capricorn full moon. So hopefully, if you needed to book, you've done it. And if not, get on it. It will be worth it, I promise. I did do a light worker energy update, and in that energy update, I shared the some in-depth guidance about what to expect at this Leo new moon. There are a lot of fast-moving changes, and I even did a breakout, like kind of a detailed what to expect during the Mercury retrograde that's upcoming between August 5th and 28th. So if you need to have a listen to that, please do, because I won't be going in rich detail about it in this video. But there is one aspect that I did forget to mention in some level of specificity at this Leo new moon. So I'm going to talk about that, the Venus square to Uranus there. But overall, this new moon taking place here in Leo has a sextile to Mars and Jupiter there in Gemini, making this a very social new moon. Lots of communication and connecting being indicated here, especially as a prelude and warm up to our Mercury retrograde. We know that Mercury is our planet that's all about communication. We also see an opposition to Chariklo, which speaks to action taken being quite blessed, if it is indeed balanced action, and a sextile to the shaman's asteroid down here in Libra, giving us some energy of having learned from past mistakes and partnerships and collaboration, and integrating those lessons into present time. The piece that I did forget to mention is with Venus square Mars. At least I think I forgot to mention it. There can be a bit of romance going sideways. It's kind of commonly known with a Venus, sorry, not Mars, but Uranus, with a Venus square Uranus transit, that it's not the best time for making big romantic gestures or romantic surprises, because Uranus governs the unpredictable. In the square, the aspect of tension, things could go other than what you have planned. And so, under the light of this new moon, it is strongly recommended to just communicate, talk to people directly rather than making grand sweeping gestures. Unfortunately, those can have some unintended consequences. So that's the overview. If you'd like a much deeper dive and specific look, have a listen to that Lightworker Energy update. It was posted roughly about a week ago. Let's talk about the sign of Aries. Aries, for you, this new moon is taking place in a part of your chart that has to do with children here. Let me highlight that for you. Has to do with children, your inner child, dating, flirtation, and romance, and your creative authority. There seems to be some new beginning or nascent project that also has something to do with these themes. You could find that there's some communication about or motivation to communicate or create a sense of greater sovereignty in these areas of creativity and projects and children as well. Now, for some, this will be taking on a whole new world in the realm of dating, flirtation, and romance that comes with a lot of communication that may be connected to your neighborhood, siblings, or cousins. There could also be a creative project that's ready to take off that gets a boost from these areas of life due to the Jupiter-Mars influence here in sextile. And for those of you, and for others of you, this is going to be you standing in your manifestation power and authority to call forth a life that is more fun and fulfilling than the one you've been living. And lastly, for a few of you, this is a new moon in which you could get pregnant or welcome a child into your life that could come through an extended family member. Either way, the potency of this new moon is beckoning you to step into greater creative authority when it comes to curating your world, both what you want in it and what you want out of it. So the vibes are very positive and potent on that point, and you may find a little extra support regulating your nervous system through the course of this new moon will go a long way. Now, Aries, where it comes to love at this new moon, this sees the rulers of your commitment sector. This is your commitment sector here. Two rulers. We have Juno and Venus as governors here of Libra, your commitment sign. We see that Venus communicating with Mercury as Mercury is preparing to go retrograde, and both of them speaking to that Uranus that I was mentioning that can bring some unpredictable energy. Okay. This may bring up some communication with someone from your past. It seems in particular it may be someone that you may have spent significant time with, but with whom things never fully solidified. The secondary ruler, Juno, we see at the cusp of the sector governing partnership and commitment. And there is Juno. She too is speaking with Uranus, but she's in a trine formation. And this is fortuitous for commitments rather than things getting off the ground. Juno in this location, fresh off of a long-term retrograde, looks ready to move forward into something real, committed, grounded, as she prepares to transit this house over the course of the next two eclipses. Whether this sees you, and so for some of you, this may see you torn between two people, someone from your past and someone new, or it sees you taking the step with someone with whom getting serious has been a long time coming. It does look like there are conversations in the month of August during the Mercury retrograde that have you exploring the romantic possibilities. I will be honest, not all of those conversations seem to go quite the way you might like, but they are quite revealing in terms of some truth that you may have needed to see about the people that you're connected to. Aries, get ready because of all the signs, it does seem like you are the most likely to see an X return the closer we get to the solar eclipse in October. That's October 2nd, and the energy begins its activation now. So it's only 90 days away. So enjoy. Let's talk about Taurus now. And Aries, if you need any help navigating what that might look, what things look like and decisions to make, you can always book with me below at kmoonastro.com. Link is below this video, along with a savings code that will expire as we get into the next lunation. All right, so let's take a look here, Taurus. This new moon takes place for you in a sector of the sky that deals with family, home, and your roots. Given the energy here, this new moon could see you making an investment in your home, buying a home, stepping into the next chapter with family or family legacies, such as a new relationship to family patterns and karmic energy, or a new relationship to the family and its dynamics and your role within it. You may be stepping out of one identity within your family and into another. This almost reads like getting potted in a much bigger pot so that your identity allows you more freedom to be yourself within the family environment. This process may have been a long time coming and has included recognizing and discarding toxic belief systems, which I've been talking a lot about this year with Fullest and series there in the house that deals with your belief systems that fall under the heading, well, this is just the way it is, or just the way I am. But after a whole lot of poking and prodding from your higher self and from the divine out here in this 12th house of psychic activity, This new step is ready to be taken in your life. So, congratulations. This was hard won. Now, Taurus, where it comes to love, we see that the ancient ruler of your love sector, and here's your love sector here, ancient ruler here, that's Mars. We see that the ancient ruler in your love sector is spending time in the sector of the sky that deals with spending and earning money, as well as self-worth and self-esteem. Mars, together with traveling companion at the moment, Jupiter, in Gemini in this area, is propelling you toward extraordinary levels of self-esteem that may see you being the initiator in a new love connection. For many of you, this may have to do with work or meeting someone through work, given the way the modern ruler of your love department is in the work sector of your chart, and that's Pluto here, preparing for a nice 20-year stay. So there is some indication of mixing business with pleasure at this new moon. Additionally, for those in an established connection, this can be true for you as well, as this new moon may see you both seeking shelter, or considering how to find a home together. Blending assets and other financial conversations may come up as well at this new moon and may continue to come up over the course of the Mercury retrograde, especially as it pertains to your living situation or investments related in real estate, as this Jupiter governs your investment sector. My counsel given the retrograde is to talk everything over thoroughly, twice, once now and once again in September once the retrograde is complete, and to be sure to look at the numbers very carefully before making any final decisions if you can. Where you're not able to do that, I'd say what my astrology teacher Nadia Saw says, you have to trust your life and know that everything you need to know will be revealed in the fullness of time. Okay. And Taurus, if you need any help moving through this energy as we step into the new moon and its pursuant full moon, then just book with me below at kmoonastro.com. It'll give you the opportunity to look at your chart and get some very personalized guidance. All right, let's take a look now at Gemini. Here's this new moon for you in a place in the sky that has to do with communication, short travels and siblings, cousins and neighbors and soul family. There could be some news that arrives or that you share at this new moon that provides some level of motivation for you toward being more yourself. And again, there is that Jupiter Mars sextile in your first house of identity that really is about truly announcing yourself to the world. There could also be some level of staycations, weekend trips, and self-pampering getaways that are indicated with this new moon, as are soul family gatherings that help you remember who you are. This new moon marks the beginning of the Mercury retrograde period for you, and will see you likely having many communications throughout the month of August that have you establishing more of who you are with people. Now, this could be announcements about a major change in your life, such as a new job, work-related relocation, engagement, or a new project of sorts, given the involvement of Jupiter here as governor of your career sector and love sector. However, in all cases, it looks like August is going to be a very social month for you, Gemini. And this sees you feeling more like yourself than you've probably felt in a long time. Now, Gemini, where it comes to love, this new moon could see you initiating communication and activities with someone who's made you feel good about who you are, who chooses you, the real you, and amplifies your sense of personal magnetism and self-love. If you're not initiating or available for new love, this new moon could see you doing some self-investment in ways you present yourself that help you feel like the self you would want to date. For some of you, this is just going to be external, investing in clothes or some other new way of changing your perceived look. But for others, this could be more internal, like taking care of yourself in ways that make you feel personally attractive, like who you would want to date if you looked in the mirror. And for the Geminis in an established connection, this new moon could see you and your person taking a short trip or having some more direct and frank conversations about you, your direction, and who you're becoming that allows both of you to land in a more empowered and understanding role about your role in your relationship. It could even be conversations about certain responsibilities that you're preparing to take on as part of you stepping into this rebirth that's unfolded this year. All in all, Gemini, it does look like at this new moon, it's all about you, who you are, what you want, what you're willing to do to create it. Go get it, Gemini. You got this. And if you need any support, you can find me over at kmoonastro.com, link below this video, with an opportunity to book a reading to better understand how this Mercury retrograde will impact you, since it will be the retrograde of your ruling planetary sign. Okay, Cancer. This new moon takes place in your money, self-esteem, and self-worth department, dealing specifically with money spent and money earned. At this new moon, you, amongst all the signs, are most likely to receive some form of raise or bonus or take on a new job that gets you paid or adds a revenue stream to your business that you launch at this time, and it goes financially really well. There's a boost to your confidence that comes with this new moon and your intuitive understanding that you have something to offer that the world needs, with both this Jupiter and Mars in your house of intuition and the subconscious mind. There may be a sense for you that you have to do something now, an urge to take some form of new action related to your self-worth and the money you make. If this is the case, know that the action is indeed blessed at this time, but to remain balanced in the process and avoid burnout or skipping necessary steps, as the upcoming Mercury retrograde seems to indicate, it is required to really take things one step at a time. Otherwise, over the course of this Mercury retrograde, it does seem you might need to redo, revisit, and renegotiate some of the terms for your new endeavor. Gemini, where it comes to love, we see the ruler of your love and commitment sector. Here's that love and commitment sector. And here is the ruler there in that ninth house or ninth position in the sky. We see the ruler of this sector retrograde in the area of the sky that deals with belief systems, higher education, and second marriages. This plus the transit of Ceres and Pholus through the sector here, romance sector, retrograde square, the transiting nodal axis here. This is a big deal because between now and the end of the year, there does seem to be indication that you're in the process of a major release of behavioral patterns based on some outdated belief systems that undermine your ability to experience all the goodness love has to offer for you. There may be parts of this that have been painful this year, parts of it that have been eye-opening, all of it bringing you into the capacity to choose. Are you going to be your own person? Or are you going to live within the confines of tradition, family patterning, generational karmic patterns that you have outgrown? The choices you make around this are going to have long-term consequences, Gemini, and that will open some doors in your life and close others. This new moon in particular is meant to help you solidify a sense of who you are so that every choice you make in love from here forward honors that truth in you. Now, whether you're in a committed relationship or looking for new love, this new moon is part of an important process of up-leveling your mindset for your love life for years to come. Take your time, feel into your truth, release what's not yours, and you'll find the authentic choices you make at this time will be ones you have zero regrets about in love in the fullness of time. In Cancer, if you need any support to talk through that, you can always find me over at kmoonastro.com. Link is below this video if you could use a little bit of support, understanding what this might mean for you. Leo, here we have this new moon for you, is all about you and your birthday season. It's in that sector of the sky that puts a spotlight on you this time of year. So happy birthday to all of the Leos out there. This new moon is calling forward an opportunity for you to stand for yourself, your creative authority, and take some risks to be uniquely you. You may find that you have a buzzing urge to step into your dreams and take some actions that you've never taken before, with Jupiter and Mars amplifying one another and speaking to you here in this sector of the sky, this new moon. The belief you have in yourself at this new moon may be quite high in a way that pushes you beyond the limits of your comfort zone so that your life can be more fulfilling. I love seeing this because it is giving you a chance to give yourself what you've so readily given to others, a chance to see that your dreams are worthy of your time, energy, investment, and effort. You may also see at this new moon that there's a lot of social activity among friends and colleagues, giving you um, giving you the opportunity to network in ways that can be advantageous and supportive to your dreams in the days and months ahead. So be sure to say yes to every opportunity to connect with new and old friends, as both are going to be in the mix throughout the Mercury retrograde in August. Now, Leo, where it comes to love, this new moon seems to showcase the potential of love showing up for you in the workplace and or some level of closing out a cycle in love at the same time. This is all part of a process that concludes in the early months of next year of getting you comfortable with your power when it comes to relationships. Who you partner with, let into your life, and whom you excuse from a seat at your table really is showing at this time. This has been a long time coming, Leo. And as you have had the experience of strengthening your boundaries around the way people are allowed to treat you in love, you're going to see the experiences you have in love conform to your new identity. For those in established connections, this is where the bond may experience a few growing pains that are resolvable with conversation over the course of the Mercury retrograde. I do see that you, more than most, have a strong potential over the course of this Mercury retrograde to blurt out some things that may be what you mean, but could have been said a better way. So I'd say be very mindful with your words and be sure to give your listening, the whomever you're listening to, the benefit of the doubt and assume good intent. Okay. Unfortunately, in this energy, I would say you especially avoid showy displays of affection, with Uranus in this position, squaring Venus in this position, Uranus being the governor of your love sector. It just seems like grand actions taken at this time or showy efforts could really reflect poorly on you in the fullness of time, Leo, and may not have the intended result that you were anticipating. The best approach in this energy in all areas of love, whether you're single or committed, is just going to be something very simple and very straightforward. Leo, if you need any support talking this through, you can absolutely book a reading below at kmoonastro.com. Link is below this video. There's guidance in your chart about how to navigate this period in a more personal way for you. Let's talk about Virgo now. Virgo, this new moon takes place in an area of the sky for you that's waking up your subconscious mind. Let me highlight that here for you. Waking up the subconscious and your intuition to possibilities in your life. You may feel deeply motivated and guided to lean into spiritual processes that enhance your well being, such as ritual, divination, being in touch with your guides or God, or processes that improve the functioning of your subconscious mind, such as hypnosis, therapy, or dream interpretation. Virgo, this new moon marks the beginning of a Mercury retrograde period, which is always very personal for you since Mercury is your ruling planet. It extends through the 28th of August. Over the course of this retrograde, you may see the work projects you've previously completed come back for review, or you may find that you intentionally revisit projects that you believe can be improved by doing so. Mercury is the governor here of your work sector. Overall, with this new moon, it will be important to pay attention to your intuition and the still small voice that's providing information about the things in your world that are ready to be up-leveled. Virgo, where it comes to love, this new moon in Leo may have some confusion in it for you about where a commitment is going, as the governor of your romance sector here is opposite the commitment planet Juno. So here's Juno, here's the governor, Neptune. That opposition, as well as the ancient ruler Jupiter, is sitting square Saturn here. This may have you feeling like things are at a bit of a standstill inside of your particular relationship, or you're moving through a significant period of growing pains that may be feeling very personal as you redefine and shed who you want to be in relationships. There may be a lot of conversations and mental processing as you work through the energy of this new moon and the entirety of the Mercury retrograde through the 28th of August. There also may be significant levels of revelation and insight that may come to you seemingly out of nowhere. But it's been a long time coming that these intuitive hits about how you've operated in love can reveal to you what changes you need to make in order to have more of the love you've wanted. For those of you in an established bond, you may find this period creates a lot of challenges and maybe even a little bit of projection and mirroring. Unfortunately, while you work through the revelations that are trying to surface now, there may also be some conflicts about time, spending time and making time for your significant other. And for those of you that are looking for new love, this new moon may see it difficult to find outside of the workplace. So if a workplace love affair can work for you, then by all means, trust it and know that this Mercury retrograde period will be a conversation-rich period in which you'll be able to talk through how to make it work. Good luck, Virgo. If you need any support, tap me over at kmoonastro.com. Link is below this video. So if you can book a reading so that we have the opportunity to talk through how to work with this energy in a more personalized way for you. All right, Libra, let's get into it. Here is your new moon for all the Libras out here. This new moon takes place in a part of the sky for you that deals with your friendships and colleagues, your hopes, your wishes, and your dreams. Very exciting stuff. This could see these areas of life taking on some new dimensions, such as new alliances in the workplace or turning a corner in life with the clarity about what you want in your career or your dreams in other areas. There seems to be some new motivation and beliefs unfolding for you regarding what you're capable of and an expansion of your horizons and fulfillment of your true potential. And that's due to Jupiter and Mars here in that sector that deals with raw potential and your belief systems. This new moon is part of a series of lunations before the end of this year that are the setup for making sure you get it, that you can go even further than what you've dreamed, and that the risks you're considering taking are worth it and have potential for both major payout and major promotion as we get into the second half of next year, if action is taken now. There are major breakthroughs coming in your career, but the setup for it is starting with this new moon. I will say this is the time to be proactive, to reach out, to shoot your shot, to not wait for things to come to you or happen for you. The more you can be an active participant in shaping the arc of your destiny to be fulfilling for you now, the more actually fulfilling it's going to be for you in the fullness of time. During the upcoming Mercury retrograde, I will caution you to not give in to the resurgence of old negative beliefs or limiting beliefs that are likely to appear. They are showing themselves with clarity at this time because they are indeed ready to fall away. They have no truth when it comes to who you are. Stay focused on what's in front of you, not on what was, and you'll find that you get all the blessings this new moon has to offer. Libra, where it comes to love, there's your love sector there. This new moon offers an opportunity to meet someone through travels, as the ruler of your love sector sits there in long distance travel with Jupiter, vacations, or in learning environments if you're looking for someone new. There may also be someone old who reaches out over the course of the Mercury retrograde hoping to rekindle, and you may be that person to somebody else. If you're considering any sort of romantic gesture, I strongly suggest you keep it simple. Keep it direct, keep it straightforward, and trust that what's in the highest good of all will unfold. Now, for those of you in an established connection, this new moon could see you taking a trip together overseas, or taking a class or a learning experience together to deepen your bond. There does seem to be a lot of communication about the connection that takes place over the course of the Mercury retrograde through August 28th. And there may be a bit of planning about where it's headed and the potential for its growth. This Mercury retrograde seems to favor transparency and communication and seeing things from another perspective. So the more you talk through things together and listen to understand the other person's perspective, the easier this new moon and Mercury retrograde is going to be for you. Good luck, Libra. It seems like it's full steam ahead and a very positive new moon for you. Let's take a look now at Scorpio and Libra. If you need any support, you can book with me over at K-Moon Astro, and we can do an in-depth look at your chart so you understand where the best choices are going forward. Scorpio, this new moon takes place for you in the sector that deals with your career. There may be some new project or opportunity that shows up to uplevel you and your visibility in the work sector that you did not see coming. This work-related new opportunity assists you with feeling more like yourself than you may have felt in a long time. Further, there is some opportunity in this that comes with a massive chunk of change, whether that's a promotion, an investment, or some other type of lump sum payment for getting work done. This seems to show that you get the chance to shine at this new moon. Further, there is some indication that at this new moon, some old debt that you thought you had figured out could potentially show itself. So be sure to check your credit card and loan statements carefully. I have seen this happen a lot with medical bills. People thought they paid them and they have to go back in and really like haggle with the hospital and show evidence that it was paid. If you happen to be looking for credit or a mortgage or a loan, there is a potential here to bite off significantly more than you can chew, with Jupiter transiting the sector that deals with what we call other people's money. So just stay aware of that and make sure that you've read the terms very carefully. Lastly, Scorpio, if someone has owed you money, this new moon seems to indicate that a change in their status will assist them in paying you back. So you may receive some form of communication about that as the Mercury retrograde moves forward. It may not be clear at first, since Mercury is going to talk to Uranus and bring some surprises in communication 3 different times over the course of the Mercury retrograde. So it may feel a little bit something like something gets offered, retracted, and then offered again. So just be mindful to keep the lines of communication open. Okay. It does seem also, there's some indication here that you may be considering a move as we close out this year and head into next, with Pluto at the bottom of your chart. I would also just say in closing, if this move does require some sort of financial investment again or mortgage, just be very careful about what you're signing at this particular time. Where it comes to your love life, Scorpio, there may be some awakening and change that you're having about the difference between what or whom you're attracted to and what or whom you can commit to, and how these two may not always be the same things. We see your love sector here, and it's both of its rulers, the one that governs attraction, Venus, and the one that governs commitment, Juno, speaking to Uranus, the divine change maker, at this lunation. Since both of them are in conversation, Uranus is activating and elevating both what you're attracted to and what you can commit to. This is a period of time where someone not your typical type could come in and sweep you off your feet. This is also a period of time where you may find your heart is not in an established love connection that you've had, and you have some thinking to do about what's next, since the commitment may feel like it's outlived the love and the chemistry and what bonds you together. Lastly, with this configuration, you may find that if you've been carrying on a love triangle of any sort, this is where you may get clarity that either you or one of the persons you've been dealing with chooses to change the configuration of things. Or if one was a secret, this is where that secret may in fact get exposed. All in all, this new moon period seems to be a very active one when it comes to both your finances and your love life, Scorpio. But as long as you're being honest with yourself and others and double checking that fine print on any paperwork, it does seem that things get better in the fullness of time and much clearer by the end of the Mercury retrograde. And Scorpio, if you need any support, figuring out how to work with this energy for you personally and your best choices going forward, can always book a reading with me over at kmoonastro.com. The link to do that is just below this video. Sagittarius, for you, this new moon has to do with your capacity to embrace new horizons and capitalize on your potential in life. This is going to provide a chance for some of you to go back to school or take a class of some sort that broadens your options for new directions, and also your sense of yourself and your prospects, your capacity to just feel good about you. For others of you, this is going to be an opportunity to move or relocate specifically for love. And even for others of you, you may lean into a completely new direction in your business. I know that seems like a lot of different areas, but as I was looking at this, Sagittarius, you're the one with this energy that's a little most open to all possibilities. Possibilities is the name of the game for you at this new moon, Sagittarius. And the more you can elevate your potential and take appropriate risks at this time, there is significant fulfillment for you on the other side of this. This new moon may mark a period of going back to do something you've already done before, as it marks the start of the Mercury retrograde. Now, whether you're relaunching an older project or product in a new way in your business, or you're revisiting a project at work that you've moved on from, this new moon is about unlocking untapped potential and living into and introducing new belief systems that expand your impact and influence. Now, if you work for yourself, you may find this is a period of time where you're guided to rebrand yourself or announce some new way for people to work with you or receive products and services. Hang on one second. I had to cough. Oh, it got dry. Thank you for your patience there. Or to receive products and services. If you work for someone else, you may find that this is the time period in which your role may be changing. It may be slightly unclear what you're going to do or where you'll land, but the change opens with this new moon and the Mercury retrograde, letting you know it's time to move forward and capitalize on all the skills you've obtained, or obtain some new skills so that moving forward becomes an option for you. Now, Sagittarius, where it comes to love, because the Mercury retrograde governs the Mercury being the governor of your romance sector here, you're one of the few that's likely to see an ex returning for a second chance over the course of this Mercury retrograde period. And it may be that you are the ex that wants to rekindle throughout this period that lasts August 4th through 28th. There are opportunities for conversations that clear up the past and make space for progress in the future in love. Now, for some of you, by the time we get to September, this will be where you recognize that what was done is well and truly over, and you can close the chapter. And for others of you, this is where you'll get clarity that in the past, it may have been the wrong time, but now you and the other person have changed enough and grown enough to where if you were to try again, things will definitely end up in a new place. And for those of you in an established bond, this is going to create a chance for you to revisit some good memories, people, and places where you both felt like you were your best selves. This fresh wind coming into the connection through re-experiencing things that have uplifted you before is what will help you both see one another and the possibilities together through new eyes. Enjoy this, Sagittarius, and if you need any support through the guidance of your own chart, you can always book a reading with me over at Moon Astro. Link is below this video. All right, Capricorn. For you, this new moon takes place in a part of the sky that has to do with your finances. So Capricorn, that is here, and specifically both money owed to you and money you owe, as well as investments. You may take out a new loan at this time or place a new investment. And you may also find that you're finally paying off a loan or resetting the terms of one. This is the time period in which you may find there is something you thought was done in the world of money owed to you or you owe to others that resurfaces over the course of the Mercury retrograde. It could even be just that you need to pay your taxes, something as simple as that. But Capricorn, this new moon may even find that you have or become someone's secret admirer, as this sector of the sky deals with concealment and secrets. There's an element of keeping things close to the vest with this new moon taking place in the sector that has to do with secrets. Given the square between Venus and Uranus, though, as I mentioned in the introduction to this video, I'd strongly recommend steering clear from big romantic gestures or declarations, as these things may not go as planned or be received as hoped for at this time. As I've mentioned, to other signs, conversations, communication, being direct is going to be the best way to proceed in love at this time. Okay. Speaking of love, Capricorn, this new moon speaks to newness in the area specifically having to do with physical intimacy. Whether you're with someone new or spicing it up in a new way with someone who's familiar to you, this new moon marks a new chapter in the world of physical intimacy. You may even just be creating some level of new thinking about yourself as a sexual being and becoming aware that you'd like to change the way you're working with your sexual energy by yourself as a matter of taking care of your physical health and well-being, with Jupiter and Mars sextile the new moon from the position in the sky that has to do with your physical health and well-being. You may even receive some news about your reproductive health that requires some quick action to resolve, and it seems that this news comes at a time that's inconvenient for you, I should say. And though inconvenient, if this is the case as the Mercury retrograde wears on, this is going to be the correct time to get a second or even a third opinion, especially after the retrograde ends on August 28th. Whatever shows up, clearing it up now will help you have many pleasurable days in love to come. Lastly, I would say this new moon might see you and another person making a change as far as living together is concerned. There could be some change in status, either moving in together or moving out. So just understand that whichever changes are unfolding at this time, over the course of the Mercury retrograde, there are going to be a lot of conversations that will clarify what's going to be the best next step moving forward, Capricorn. You can always book a reading with me over at kmoonastro.com so that we can have a look together at what it is going to be best for you through the guidance of your personal blueprint for life. Link is below this video. Aquarius, this new moon shows up in a part of the sky that has to do with your love life, your commitments, which can include your business partnerships as well. Although at this new moon in particular, it seems more directly focused on love partnerships. Aquarius, at this new moon, there is some potential to meet someone new with Jupiter and Mars sextile this new moon in your partnership sector from your dating, romance, and flirtation sector here. This could start off friendly, flirty, and very innocuous, only for both of you to realize quite quickly that there's something more here. Some of you will even move from dating to making something official at this new moon. For those of you in an established bond, this new moon could have you turning over a new leaf, deciding to leave certain things in the past and carve out a new path forward when it comes to who you want your life, how you both want your life to look in the days to come. Now, in other areas of life, Aquarius, this new moon may see you or maybe part of a series of movements related to relocation of home or transition within your family, with Uranus in the sector that deals with family and home, and wrapping up a transit there that concludes next year. Now, for some of you, this could be that there is a relocation in the works, but it does look like something about the money is other than how you would like it in the short term at this new moon, even though it may ultimately meet your needs in the long run. For those of you for whom this is about a family-related change, there could be the changing of who lives with you, who moves out, or some change regarding inheritances at this new moon. Given Venus's position, the tail end of your love sector, and the entrance to money owed and invested sector, as well as inheritance, square that Uranus, right? Now, what's interesting about this is if you're drawing up a will or witnessing one for a family member as at the start of this Mercury retrograde, this is a great time to have it double checked that it has no loopholes or things that people could argue about once the will maker has transitioned. It's also a good time to double check your investments and beneficiaries, all right? Pisces, this new moon for you is taking place in your physical health and well-being sector. Let me get out of here. 1 second. Aquarius, if you need any support, you can always book with me over at kmoonastro.com. More than happy to read for you and provide some guidance from your chart. Pisces, here's this new moon in your physical health and well-being sector and your day-to-day living sector. This new moon, you may find that there's a fresh wind in your sails when it comes to whatever you feel the need to do to take care of yourself. You could take on a new fitness or dietary regime that has the potential to make you feel more like yourself than you felt in a long time. You may also find that there are some challenges with either registration and getting started or keeping momentum given the Mercury retrograde. That's August 4th to August 28th. Okay. So one of the best things you can do is double check your receipts, use the buddy system or a partner to help you stay accountable and build a foundation until that Mercury retrograde is complete at the end of August. Additionally, Pisces, this new moon may see you establish some changes in the world of work with your bosses or people who work under you. You could see a new boss come in or an employee start work. All in all, this person does seem to be a hard worker, takes a lot of pride in their work. You can make an excellent supporter of you. So be sure to cultivate this relationship accordingly. Now, where it comes to love, this new moon will see the ruler of your commitment sector, and here's that commitment sector, Virgo, Virgo's ruler, Mercury, about to go retrograde. Ah, okay. And so this could make for a situation that begins to move forward only to fall back into an old pattern or get stalled. It seems to be something that communication can clean up, and the holdup or issue does seem to be related to issues related to a home, or a family member. If you can give it just a little time and some honest dialogue, this new moon does seem to support positive outcomes as we get into September and the Mercury retrograde closes. Because the ruler of your house of commitment and partnership does connect with Uranus 3 times. And here's Uranus here in that sector that deals with communication, neighborhoods, siblings, and cousins. In the next 3 weeks, there may be some surprises and some news you had not expected over the course of the Mercury retrograde pertaining to this love situation that for a few of you may have to do with a relocation. But whether you're with someone in an established connection or you're looking to establish new love, this new moon will help you take the needed steps through key conversations. Very excited for you, Pisces. And if you could use some support understanding the appropriate next steps and looking at this Mercury retrograde energy, best time to book with me is now as the August calendar is filling up. Link to do so is below this video. And if you watched with me all the way till the end, thank you. Please give the video a thumbs up. It helps to circulate it in the algorithm so people can find the guidance that they need. I would also say that if you have not listened to the Lightworker Energy Update with a more in-depth look, please do at the end of that video. I did provide something called First Look. If you're new, welcome. First Look is where I give you my first impression of the upcoming lunation. I think that's going to be a full moon in Aquarius, if I recall correctly. So you can understand how the energy progresses from here through toward the end of August. Thank you so much for all your watches, your likes, your subscribes if you're new, and your shares. It's awesome that you introduced me to the people in your world. And I look forward to hearing how all of this is impacting you in the comments below. Take great care and bye for now.